going to introduce you to my absolute favorite metronome app in the world. It is called Click. It is free. It is sadly only available on Apple devices. I am an Android phone person, so it makes me really sad, but I use my iPad for music, so it's always handy. A lot of you have probably heard about Tonal Energy. I do love that app as well. It also comes with a tuner as well as a metronome and sound functions and everything. Click is just a metronome, but I love it, and let me show you why. So second row, second to last icon, it says dotted quarter equals 72, and that's what the icon's going to look like. So Click can be used in portrait mode or in landscape mode. It might freak you out for a second, but down in the right hand corner there's a little screen rotation thing that you can just keep pressing that depending on how you've got your screen rotated. I like to use it in portrait mode most of the time because it's as big as possible, and the reason that I love it so much is because it will flash the beat numbers while clicking. So it's a little bit easier for students that struggle with staying on beat with a metronome. Of course, with your traditional metronomes, you can accent beat one, have it be a different pitch, a different sound than the other beats in the measure. You can do that in Click as well. But sometimes students, when they're learning to use a metronome, don't pick up on that, no matter how many times you tell them. But seeing a big flashing number 1 on the screen while they're playing beat 3 or 4, maybe they'll catch it. In Click, you've got your beat subdivision. This is just going to be depending on whatever you need, however you're practicing. I usually keep mine on quarter notes or eighth notes, but they've got the weird 16th note rhythms, which I'm honestly never really sure why these are options. If you have an idea how you use the ones with rests in between and you're practicing, let me know. But triplets, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 4/16ths are about all I ever use. You've got your tempo here. You can either plus or minus one at a time. You can drag it, spin it around, or you can tap your tempo. So lots of different options for tempo there. You've got tons of time signatures in here. The more complicated the time signature, the more complicated the beat things are flashing around the screen. So maybe it's not the best if you're practicing something in 12/8 to have the numbers on the screen, but we'll get to that in a second. They don't have to be there. Let's go back to 4/4 for now though. Always pressing this little downward caret to go on to the next thing. Boop boop, sorry. Volume. This is the metronome volume within the app, which is different than your iPad volume overall. So you can have your iPad volume cranked and lower the metronome volume, vice versa. Also, this metronome does keep going in the background. So if you set it and you go to a different app to use that app to read the music on your iPad, the metronome will keep going, which I love. You've got, I believe, 4 different sound options here. I just like this. That might be the default. I'm pretty sure it's the default. The Quiros ? Beat 1 accented. I tend to have this on all the time. It's a rare occasion when I'm just trying to get a student to play anything to the beat and I don't really care if they're on beat 1 or not. Then I would probably unaccent beat 1 so all of the clicks sound the same, and then also remove the number function, the number flashes, just because we are purely working on only rhythm right now, not how it fits in a measure. You've also got subdivision volume. That's whether or not your eighth notes will sound like 2 different noises, or if every subdivision that you choose is just going to sound exactly the same. That can get confusing for me. If I'm using the subdivision function in the metronome, I'm probably really needing that help, and so I need to hear the beat and the subdivisions at different pitches. So I like it. Unfortunately, it's soft or equal are your only 2 options, but soft you can still hear it. It's fine. We've got flash on beat 1. That's just whether or not you want the background to flash yellow or not. I like to have that as just extra eye-catching. And then here we've got our display modes. So this will just flash the numbers. This just flashes colors. Yellow on beat 1 and white for any of the interior beats. I haven't used this with any other like complex time signatures. Oopsies, sorry. We're talking about this one. We've got beat numbers and the pendulum. This might still be a little bit of visual overload, so if I'm using the pendulum only, you press that little downward arrow to just completely go full screen with the app. I use this to help students move their bow exactly with what they're seeing on the screen if they're struggling. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is about Click. If you need help learning how to use a metronome in general for your practice, check out my video on that. But this is how to use this app specifically, which I love so much. Good luck and happy practicing. One thing I did not mention, and it's just because I don't use this function, but up in the top left hand corner you see these 3 little lines. Up here they've got, basically these are presets that you can build in. They've got a whole bunch of them already in here. It's a speed, a time signature, a subdivision rhythm, and then also you can see how the visual on the screen can change from just numbers to numbers and pendulum. So if you're the type of person that likes to go through and create presets, you can do that. I personally just change my metronome for each thing that I'm practicing. I find that a whole lot easier than trying to create presets and then honestly just forgetting to use them because they may not relate to everything I'm doing moving forward. But there is that function in case somebody out there would actually use it.